There was a man by the name of Paul Cooper, a young high school student. And Paul was on his way to Bible college. And he won the preaching contest for his Christian school. Just a great young man from West Virginia. And while he was getting ready to go to Bible college, he developed a sore in his mouth. And that sore got worse, and they went to the dentist, and the dentist said, I don't think it's dental. Go to the hospital. They checked him, and they found out his body was full of cancer. And the doctor said, Paul, you only have a couple months to live. His world came crashing down. They put him in the hospital. They did everything they could. I went to see him in the hospital. Whoa, was he sick. His eyes were dark. I mean, when I walked in the room, it took my breath away. Blood was seeping out of his eyes. His gums were bleeding profusely. He had trouble breathing. And when I walked in, his face lit up. He said, oh, Brother Gibbs, I'm glad you're here. He said, could you do me a favor? Could you watch me tonight? I need you. I said, what do you need me for? He said, just tell my parents, please, to go get some rest. And would you stay here, Brother Gibbs? I said, okay, Paul, sure, I'd be honored to. His parents went home to get some rest. It's just after midnight, and Paul called me to his bed, and he's having such a terrible night. And I said, Paul, what can I do for you? He said, brother, I've been asking God for something impossible. He said, I have witnessed to every patient on this floor and to every doctor who serves these patients. I have personally led them all through the gospel. And he said, on this floor alone, I've won 70 people to Christ. But he said, the floor down is full of dying children. And they won't take me down there. I need you to take me down there. That's what I'm praying for. I said, well, Paul, I got a feeling they wouldn't want me getting you out of your bed. You got all these tubes in your body, all these drips hanging here. And I said, I'll just bet they don't let you roam the place. Oh, he said they don't. But he said, you're a lawyer and you could threaten them. I said, Paul, he said, Brother Gibbs, I've asked God to move this mountain. I can't move, but my God can move the mountains. Whoa. Mountain moving is when it's impossible. He said, would you get a wheelchair and one that can hold all the drips? Well, I went to get the wheelchair, and lo and behold, I ran into a charge nurse. And she said, what are you doing? I said, I need this wheelchair. She said, what for? I said, I'm a lawyer. And under HIPAA, I can't tell you. I said, no, I'd love to tell you, but I just can't. She said, okay. I said, good. It took me 2.5 hours to get Paul off that bed into that wheelchair. He moaned and screamed. And I said, Paul, let's stay. He said, no. Their only chance is going to be if I can get there. How fervent are you? I got him in the wheelchair. And we started out towards the elevator, and I ran into two other nurses. And they said, "Where are you going?" And Paul looked up at him, and I didn't have to answer. He said, "This is my lawyer, and he doesn't want to sue you, but he will. We have something we need to take care of. And so if you want to get sued, just try to stop us." I said, "Paul, don't talk like that." He said, "Brother Gibbs, please, one time. There's souls hanging in eternity." We got on the elevator and down we went. And we started going room to room, and there's all these dying children. And Paul would come in and say, "I'm dying too. And I know you're dying. But I know where I'm going to spend eternity, and I can help you spend eternity in heaven too." And I couldn't believe what happened. Parents started weeping uncontrollably, saying, "Can we pray that prayer with you?" Now the doctor that overruns the whole place showed up. And he said, "Are you the lawyer that's threatening everybody?" I said, "Well, I wouldn't use the word threaten because I could get disbarred for that. But I am talking to him." He said, "Here's what I got to tell you. They have no hope. And Paul is their hope. And his passion for Christ is what they need." We were down there for 12 hours. And before we left, he got to every room. He prayed with over 40 parents and 50 kids, all of whom trusted Christ. Brother Gibbs, that's impossible. Something like doesn't happen to me. You have not because you ask not. When I got Paul back upstairs, he was so sick. He said, "It's been such a good day, isn't it?" He said, "Brother Gibbs, God answers prayer. You got the same God Paul Cooper has, but you got to ask." Wow.